Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. Well, week one of my May challenge is in the books. It was an interesting week to say the least. It was a challenge, and I guess that's why I called it a May challenge, right? Because I wanted to make sure that I stuck to doing the things that I said that I was going to do. So there were days that I definitely didn't feel like doing anything, and I still did it. And that's just the way you have to do it. So I'm not going to to beat around the bush too much. Let's jump into some of those things. First and foremost, let's look at treadmill tracking. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. That had to have been the worst walk that I've done since I got the treadmill. Minus, of course, the time I fell. I told you guys about the time I fell? Yeah. As you can see, that's me on the ground. Yep, I went down hard. Ripped up my elbow, my knee, my ego. Really made me afraid to get on this thing, honestly. But that was several weeks ago now, and I've done much better. But today it's whatever's going on with my head, my breathing. I've had some really bad dizzy spells the last few days, so plus taking the week off. I didn't do anything on it last week at all. The week before I did 5 days consecutively, and 6 out of 7 I think. But last week, being in Texas, I wasn't up on there, and I swear to you, it's much easier to walk on level ground, non-moving, than it is to walk on a treadmill. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Comment down below if you do, but to me, it's much easier because you can just kind of go at your own pace, where a treadmill forces you to go at that pace that you have set. So, I don't know. Either way, I got my 15 minutes in, actually, because I had to stop. I ended up getting 21 minutes in, just over 21 minutes, but very slow pace. About that, I'm not going to worry about it because whatever's going on with my head, once I'm feeling better, I know that'll pick up and I'll just continue to go from there. So, but day one done, thank goodness, and I'm going to go get me some breakfast. The force is evidently strong with me today on May the 4th because there's no reason why I should have been up there. There's no reason why I should have been doing that. But I got it done, and man, do I feel excited that I did. I feel like I've accomplished something. Most of the night last night and all morning, it's currently like, I don't even know what time it is. Hold on. It's like 2:39 in the afternoon. I waited that long to finally get in here and get this done. So glad I got it done. Was it stupid? Probably. Do I feel accomplished? You sure as hell bet. So that's day 4 now of this first week. So tomorrow will tie my consecutive days record. So hopefully everything's good tomorrow and we'll get it done then. So day number 5 done. That's big for me, mainly because that ties my record, right? Like I mentioned earlier, when I first started walking on the treadmill, I wouldn't do it but once every 2 or 3 days. I just wasn't able to. So then a couple weeks ago, I decided to try to do it as many days in a row as I could. I got to 5. I had to take a day off, and then I ended up doing it again. So I did 6 out of 7 days that week, but 5 in a row. So I'm currently at 5 in a row, which means tomorrow will break my record. Now that means nothing to most of y'all, right? But to me, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, that just shows progress, shows that I'm getting better at this, shows that I'm coming along, and that's what I need to see. I did up the speed a little bit to 1.1 miles per hour today. I had to drop it back to a mile an hour, so just down a tenth. a couple different times. I don't know what that gave me for my overall average. I'll put that up right here so you could see it there. But yeah, decent walk, still a little woozy, a little dizzy. Nothing like yesterday, thank goodness. Well, we got that doctor's appointment on Tuesday, so we're a couple days away. And we'll see what he's got to say, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, so what do you do when you have like the most nastiest forecast for possible tornadoes in your area today? Yeah, you jump up on your treadmill and you watch Twister. Yeah, that's the kind of sick humor I have. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but my problem with trying to watch something on the screen on the treadmill is that whatever's going on with my head, this whole whatever, man, it just gets me dizzy. My eyes just kind of track whatever's there, and next thing you know, I'm really dizzy. So I ended up staring at the console and just kind of listening, and every so often I glance up to see how I'm doing and what's going on in the movie. Of course, I have this movie memorized, so that doesn't really matter, but it is a good distraction to make the time seem to go faster. So that's why I'll keep doing it. So that was day number 6. That is a new record for me. We'll get our 7th walk in tomorrow and see how the week goes. We'll go from there. But for now, yeah, it's going to be an evening of watching the news and seeing how the weather progresses, because it's sounding like it's going to be pretty damn ugly. So just a quick update on that weather. Yeah, it ended up being pretty nasty all over the state. Where we are right here in the northern part of Oklahoma City, we were fine. We actually didn't even get a single drop of rain until, I don't know, 11:30, going on midnight maybe. Couple claps of thunder. There was a lot of lightning off in the distance. But nothing like right here in the immediate area. There was one tornado, an EF4 tornado, that went through the town of Barnesdall. They had just been hit with an EF1 about a month ago, and they had an EF4 come through and do massive damage. Those were the kind of tornadoes that they were predicting for this storm. I mean, it was huge. It was a terrible, terrible tornado, and just after it left there, it continued on. And that's when I got a text from my brother telling me that they are in the direct path, the direct line of that tornado headed straight to their house in Bartlesville. Talk about getting your blood pressure up. That'll get you moving in a hurry. As it turns out, it kind of veered off just a little bit to the east, and so it barely missed them. I texted my brother about it, and I asked him how it was with all the winds. His response was intense. Yeah, I can only imagine, and I hope to never have to deal with a tornado like that. They do not have a shelter, neither do we. So they were riding it out in the bathroom, in the bathtub, with blankets and pillows and stuff piled on top of them. And thankfully it didn't hit them directly. So, ugly storm, scary night, that's for sure. So for those of you that are pretty eagle-eyed, you probably noticed that there was only 6 days that I showed that I got up on my treadmill. Yeah, because I only walked 6 days. May the 7th was Tuesday. That was the day that I had my doctor's appointment. So I had to get up early and go do it. And then that night we went to game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. I did a lot of walking that day. I know I said I wasn't going to count it, but I am going to give myself some grace, because as I'll show you here, in 6 days I actually did 8 walks on the treadmill. So I was kind of ahead of the pace, and so I wasn't too worried about it, especially since I knew I was going to get my steps in. So I really wasn't worried about it at all. And so I definitely did. Between going to Scissortail Park for the Thunder Up in the Park pregame, and then over to the arena, walking around it before the game, and then of course afterwards back to the car. I got more than enough exercise that day, but no treadmill time. So I did miss one day, but again, I had done 8 in those previous 6. 8 actual walks on the treadmill in those previous 6 days, so I'm okay with that. Speaking of going to the Oklahoma City Thunder game, game 1 versus Dallas, I did do a video for my other channel, the channel for my wife and I can put a link to it down below, but this is what that looks like. So if you want to check it out, that channel is called Kedogn. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't, and subscribe over there as well. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that for me too. If you would, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, so as we can see here, for the first week, May 1st through the 7th, I only averaged 1,144 calories. A big part of that was I took a 12.5 milligram shot for the second week in a row that Friday, and it just knocked me for a loop. I mean, it really did. That's something I haven't done in a long time. If I've taken them back-to-back weeks in a while, it's usually like a 12.5 and then a 10, but I haven't done a 12.5 in back-to-back weeks in many months, and it hit me hard. And so that one really caused problems. I mean, I was out of dizziness, constipation, stomach cramps. I just didn't want to eat. I tried forcing myself to eat, but that didn't work too well. So as we can see, for the entire week, I ended up with averaging 1,144 calories. So when we look further into the numbers, we could see the breakdown. That's protein. I averaged 86 grams a day. I averaged 46 grams of fiber per day. Now my target was 50. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to adjust that down a little bit, honestly, but for now it was 50, and I only hit 46. My sodium for the week averaged 1,335 milligrams with a target of 1,300. So I was just a wee bit over on that. Nothing to be worried about at all. My potassium, I averaged 4,407 with a target of 4,500. Much like my fiber, I think I went a little too high on those targets for both of those. We'll see. We'll see how it goes going forward. But I think I did, based on other things that I've read. I'm going to talk to my doc about that and see what she says, and then we'll adjust again if we have to. So not a bad week overall. I hit numbers where I really should have. I did pretty good. I feel that it was a really good week. I can say I had absolutely 0 beer. That made me proud. So yeah, not even a single one. If you remember the video from when I set up this May challenge, I talked that could be a challenge in its own. And so far so good. No fast food either. Anything that I've fixed at home, or of course was like a protein shake, those kind of things. But no fast food, no restaurants, no nothing. So far so good in week 1. So then what does all of that mean when it comes to the scale? Well, I got on the scale, and I don't know, man. I don't know what happened, but I went down 7 pounds. 7 pounds. So that's 1 pound that I had gone up the previous week, after getting back from Texas. Told you I wasn't too worried about that. I lost it, plus an additional 6 pounds. So that puts me now at 386 pounds, and that's a 209 pound total loss now, with 174 pounds of that being since I started Mounjaro on September 2nd, 2022. Yeah, 7 pounds. I mean, that was just unreal. I don't know if that had anything to do with taking those 12.5 milligram shots back to back. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's just how it would be for me if I could actually take those weekly like you're supposed to. I don't know. I can't anyways, so I will not be taking a shot this week. We'll see how next week goes, I suppose. But pretty excited about that. So down to 386, total of 209 pounds lost. Really like to get that one more just to make it 210. For some reason, 210 pounds sounds a little better than 209. I mean, it just, I don't know. I guess it is better technically because it is 1 pound more, but I mean, it just has that ring to it better. Yeah, I lost 210 pounds, not 209. To me, 209 means I've almost barely lost over 200, but 210 kicks you to that next level. So either way, it was a great week. I got to work on a few things with my numbers again, but not too worried about that. So overall, pretty happy. So hey, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.